Noise department.
The Big Dumb Show.
I've asked you before not to make that sound.
I didn't.
Yet you persist.
The Big Dumb Show. She's not the hottest chick in the bar,
What about this dog?
but she's the one that'll go home with you.
Shut up!
Indy's Morning Alternative. X103.
Good morning, Gonzo's me. There's Don Stuck. Bo Asner's over there on the news desk. Guys, are you like me? Are you a big fan of all the incredible programming they have on the Fox Television Network? You bet. Because they've outdone themselves this time.
No.
Yeah, it is.
Does the government know about this?
I don't know. We're going to be joined here right now by the guy who's the producer of 101 Things Removed from the Human Body. Here's Eric Shotz, everybody. Eric, thanks for being on today, man.
You gotta love fans.
This is, were you involved in the idea for this show, or did you get on board after somebody had already come up with it?
My fault, 100%.
Oh, good for you, man.
Nice.
Wow. All right, so it's
It actually started. This is the sickest part. It started like a picture I saw in 1989.
Uh-huh.
Kid was playing baseball and got impaled on a wrought iron fence.
God, I think I remember reading about that.
And it's like it went right through the bottom of his jaw, like out through his mouth.
Uh-huh.
It looked like a fish that just been, and he was perfectly fine. I'm like, that's so wrong.
Uh-huh. So everybody that's featured on the show that's been got something in their body somehow,
Look like they've
In
been
or
on
out of their body,
they've survived this, right?
Everybody survived.
All right.
They're all 100% survival stories. And there are pictures that you see that, and it can show it to you. It's so compelling because you look at it and go, there's no way this person should be alive.
Uh-huh.
There's not a way. We got it. He had he fell off a ladder onto a piece of rebarb.
Oh, God.
Oh, like that hasn't happened to you before.
Yeah, sure. I'm sure whenever you talk about this show, somebody's going, oh,
The saddest thing about this whole thing is my daughter was screaming and running down the hallway the other day. I'm like, what's up with that?
You're not
I haven't
impaled.
seen a rebarb yet, honey.
Yeah,
Come back here.
don't scream like that unless you're either watching the show or actually impaled on something.
What's the difference? My girl ran down the hallway. My boy goes, this is the coolest thing ever.
Well, see, and that's what I was thinking. Obviously, this show, not for everybody.
No.
Yeah.
No. But that's the great thing about TV. This isn't one where I'd say, hey, let's bring in the kids and play Let's Who Wants to Be a Millionaire. This is not like Let's Answer the $100 Question.
Right.
It's intense. It's super intense.
It's cool that you mentioned this, too, because it was based on a photograph you've seen at my desk at the office here. Since I got here, I have an X-ray photograph of what I'm told is a X-ray of a woman's skull who has a knife went into her head, apparently through one of her eye sockets. Now, I don't know if she made it or not, because I got it from some...
We do have a knife in the head. I don't know where yours came from.
Yeah.
The scary thing is there's more than one. So we were doing things like when we did like the 2x4s about 3 weeks into production. We're like, we've seen that 2x4. What do you got that's a little special?
Yeah. So you're already blasé to the whole thing. Oh, okay.
Exactly. You're just totally numb, which is pathetic because it's like, excuse me, this person has a 2x4. Yeah. We're not talking about a toothpick accident at the restaurant.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
We're talking about a 2x4 through the head.
Through the head.
Hey, Eric, I don't know if you read the news from yesterday about a woman from I want to say Taiwan that after 50 years they did an X-ray on her vagina area and she had a needle stuck in there for 50 years after a C-section. Did you ever hear about that?
No, but she's probably looking at it for a long time, huh?
Yeah, probably.
They removed it.
Imagine finding that and they go, what do they say? Oh, there it is.
Yeah. They found it and they said it was rusty and black.
Oh. Yeah, so we're talking with the producer of 100 Things Removed from the Human Body, Eric Shotz.
100. Cheat anybody.
101 things. Now, can you give us a rough percentage of those things? How many were in the butt?
We actually, in the rough cut,
All of them.
All of them.
Yeah.
it was like 98 items.
Yeah.
And here's a 2x4 and a javelin.
Yeah.
Bananas, water bottles, mop handles, plunger handles.
Flashlights.
As Broadcast Standards got a hold of the show and said, who's going to advertise?
Yeah.
And I said, hey, Preparation Age.
Sure.
Oh, yeah.
They pulled out quite a few, but we got into this debate where it's like, you can't do the show and not deliver. I mean, you can't do the show and go, let's be politically correct. It just doesn't work.
Right.
So we do deliver the goods. There's quite a few that were pulled out that were fantastic. But,
you got to wonder, what.
Those are the breaks. Huh?
Right. Yeah. The thought process of, I'd like to put this item here.
Yeah. Exactly. The sequel's like 101 Excuses.
Sure.
It's all the same. I was walking down the street, I slipped and fell on the handlebars.
Yes. Yeah, it happens to everybody, right?
We did actually, there is a jewel thief story we do of a jewel thief that took the diamond necklace and put it where the sun doesn't.
Right. Well, yeah.
Good evasive maneuver.
Sure, nobody's going to look there.
Right. Gee, where could it be? Let's just take a quick x-ray.
That's Eric Shotz, producer of 101 Things Removed from the Human Body on the Fox Television Network tonight. We'll definitely be watching that.
Thanks a lot.
Thanks for being on.
Indy's morning alternative.
Better be good.
Gonzo Greg, The Big Dumb Show. X103, 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 X103.
It's another great night of No See TV. The fun starts at 7 with Wheel of Terror.
Would you like to solve the puzzle?
Yeah. Is it,
That's it.
Then it's more fun at 7:30 with Children Are Forbidden from Saying the Darndest Things.
One day, I ate a hot dog, and then I rode my Huffy over to go play baseball. Ow!
It's hilarious. Then at 8, it's more comedy on Who's Seinfeld. What's the deal with all this sand? What's up with that? At 8:30, get ready for adventure with Sand Trek.
I'm giving the Camelot's got Captain.
Yes, you are. Engage. No. Disengage. Number 1, you disengage that camel. That is a direct order.
Then later, it's Taliban TV for women. Shows worth getting beaten for. A la McBeal and No Sex in the City. They're smart. They're sexy. We think. Under there somewhere. Then it's the No Witness News at 10.
I didn't see nothing. He was quiet, though. Stayed in his cave a lot. Then he got blowed up.
Then tomorrow, it's another night of No CTV with Moammar and Mindy, My Two Bagdads, and Buffy the Yankee Imperialist Slayer. Taliban TV. It f***ing sucks.
My friends, we unveil my most diabolical creation.
Gonzo.
Never have you known such cringing terror.
Gonzo Greg and The Big Dumb Show.
I believe it is
Indy's morning alternative. X103, X103.
Gonzo's me. It is the Big Dumb Show. Don Stuck, Bo Asner's over there. Our guest in studio, comedian Daniel Tosh, joining us now. Daniel, good to see you, man. Thanks for coming in.
Thank you very much, Gonzo. Appreciate it.
Welcome to the fine cornfield that we call the city of Indianapolis.
Oh, lovely. I think they need a new strip mall. Is that possible?
Yeah, I think you're right. I think we might have room for one.
If heaven was a strip mall, it'd be Indianapolis.
We've located a cornfield that doesn't have a strip mall.
Move immediately.
To the mallmobile.
Where are you from originally, Daniel?
I live in Los Angeles.
Okay.
Girls in Los Angeles like to say this: I'm not religious, but I'm spiritual. I like to reply, I'm not honest, but you're interesting.
How's that work?
I got an English bulldog. She's about 18 months old. She's been throwing up, so I brought her to the vet, and the vet said she has a stomach virus. But I think it's the media putting all those skinny dogs on television, and there's no way she can live up to those unhealthy images. That's right. I blame Callista. Do you guys watch that? Have you seen that show, Extreme Makeover?
I think I have.
Oh, man. Let me just say this. I am all for plastic surgery because what plastic surgery allows women to do is make their outer appearance resemble their inner appearance. Fake. And I'm going to actually I don't know if I should plug this or not, but I'm going to be on Extreme Makeover next year.
Really?
Yeah, well, it's going to be next year. It's going to be called Extremer makeover. Cool. Yeah, and I'm getting a vagina put under my armpit, which is going to be awesome. I mean, it's extreme, I know, and it's going to be a real working vagina, and so like it'll be funny. My friends will be like, "Hey, do you smell?" And I'll be like, "What? That's my vagina." And like, well, why don't you put deodorant on it? I'm like, that's so you don't deodorant your vagina. That's not natural. God will clean it. And like, I'm sure they'll ask me if I'm ticklish, which will be very uncomfortable because no means no. Like I'll tell them. I always tell guys that no means no. No doesn't. If no meant no, every man would die a virgin. Like, no doesn't mean no. No means work on the neck, the nipples, try back in 5 minutes. But it's kind of hard for a father to tell his son those birds and the bees. Listen, she's gonna block your hand 3 to 4 times at least. I didn't raise you to be a quitter, did I? Come on now. She wouldn't dress like that if she didn't want a little pinky on the stinky. You know what I'm talking about. Which leads me nicely into this joke. Butt sex is a lot like spinach. If you're forced to have it as a child, you won't enjoy it as an adult. You see, it's a lot like spinach. That joke's not for everybody. But I can say that joke because I'm wearing my WWJD bracelet. What would Jesus do? Those bracelets aren't magical. They're just a reminder to be a better person and to live a better life. They work. I was in the movie theater recently, and a guy's cell phone went off, and it was one of those obnoxious rings where it's a song, and he doesn't want to answer it because the good part's coming. And I'm like losing my mind, and then he answers the phone like, hey, what's going on? No, I'm in the movie theater. And this is what I said. I'm not going to censor myself, not even on radio. I was like, hey, buddy, please get off the phone. That's it. That's all I said.
Yeah.
And this is what he says to me. Shut up and mind your own business, punk. And I almost went crazy. Yeah. But then I looked at my bracelet. You know, what would Jesus do? So I lit him on fire and sent him to hell.
Yeah.
Because I'm a Christian, and that's what Christians do.
That's right.
Right? So,
Bless you.
That's how I live my life. I mean, you know, life is what you make it. I have a good life. My friends think it's better than it really is. Why? Because I make it better. You want to know where I'm working next week? Hawaii.
Whoa.
Yeah, how's that feel, Indianapolis? I'm in Hawaii. All right, you want to know where I'm really working? Appleton, Wisconsin. But in my mind, I'm going to Hawaii, and you can do it too, and it's a lot cheaper. Anytime you're going someplace that you don't want to go, pretend you're going to Hawaii. Put on a flowered shirt. Just run in. Aloha, everybody. They'll think you need a helmet. Who cares? You're in Hawaii. I even took my girlfriend last week to Paris, and the whole time she's like, this looks a lot like Birmingham, Alabama. And I'm like, shut up, Anna Kournikova. And she's like, quit calling me Anna Kournikova. And I'm like, no one talks to The Rock like that, bitch. And I gave her the people's elbow upside the head. Which is really funny because I don't even have a girlfriend. Like, that was some lady on the bus. She didn't smell what I was cooking. Now she has a knot on the forehead. I bet she remembers next time. And that's how I live my life. I lie. I lie about everything. My friend said to me last week, hey, can you pick me up from the airport? I'd love to pick you up, but I can't because I'm meeting this group of witches and we're making a batch of poison apples that night. And he's like, what? You could have just said no. I'm like, you think I'm lying? Then next week comes, I invite him and his girlfriend over to my house. I offer his girlfriend an apple. He's like, wait, don't eat that apple. Last week I thought he was being an idiot, but apparently he knows witches and they made poison apples. And the whole time I just stand behind him and I'm like, cuckoo. And then I can have sex with his girlfriend. Yeah. It works.
Gonzo Greg, Don Stuck, Boaz. Every weekday morning, X103.
Comedian Daniel Tosh is here. Daniel, again, a pleasure to have you in here this morning.
Thank you very much.
How's
happy to be on the Big Dumb Show.
Traveling a lot? How's that going?
Oh, it's horrible, but it pays well, so
yeah, it's worth it.
I turn the other cheek.
Yeah.
Money doesn't buy happiness. That phrase should end with just kidding. money does buy happiness. End of discussion. You ever seen a homeless person skip? They don't. They're not allowed. I once saw a homeless person start to skip and a bottle hit him in the head. Yeah, he forgot the rules. He'll remember next time.
Good point.
Yeah. Uh-huh. You ever get a new watch and you're like, you love it. You're like, man, hope somebody asks me what time it is today so I can be like, let me check on my new watch. Uh-huh. But then a few months go by and you don't wear it every day. It's not a big deal. And then one day you look at your favorite watch like, did I crack it? Is it cracked? No, it's a piece of plastic that I forgot to peel off the face of it when I bought it. Oh my goodness, it's still brand new underneath there. I love it so much. Don't you wish you could do that with your girlfriend? Like, wouldn't that just erase so many fights? Like, oh, what's that in the corner of your face? Oh, that's why I put up with your crap. I dated this girl that got a boob job, a breast enlargement, but she put squeak toys in them, which was really weird. You know, I'm like, I mean, it was fun, don't get me wrong. She was a clown, so it was a tax write-off. Right. She was a sad-faced clown, and I could never make her happy. And as soon as people are always like, you had sex with a clown, that's awesome. It's not what you think it is. Like, as soon as you take off the wig, the funny shoes, she's just like any other retarded girl. And I know what you're gonna say. Don't judge. The Bible says not to. I loved her. I support her. She was in the Olympics. You know, the one that you're not supposed to laugh at. But when you watch the hurdles and they start knocking over every single one, you're like, really? Are you the best athlete in your near field when the guy in lane 3 is chewing on the 3rd hurdle. I'm sorry, and I know people are out there. This always is a hot topic, but I'm gonna beat you to the punch before you email me your hate mail. You don't make fun of the mentally handicapped. Agreed. For a couple of reasons. First of all, they have the strength of 10 men, which is equivalent to 1 chimpanzee. And that's why if you ever see a retarded chimpanzee, turn and run, okay? Because that thing's a borderline superhero. But Hollywood won't make movies about a retarded chimp. Unless, of course, you count a Vin Diesel movie. Which I do. And a lot of people are like, well, I'm a Vin Diesel fan. Well, then you shouldn't come see me perform. You should be at home coloring.
I think you're very funny.
Daniel Tosh on the Big Dumb Show.
Thanks, guys.
And so, hey, I know what you're saying. You say Gonzo. I say what? You say Gonzo. I say what? You say Gonzo. I say what? You're like, Gonzo, why Daniel Tosh on this edition of the Big Dumb Show Flashback podcast? And that's actually because if you're listening to this podcast right when it comes out on Friday morning, Daniel Tosh is playing here in Vegas on Friday and Saturday at the Mirage. So check that out if you're timely in your podcast listening. But whenever you're listening, and if you listened back then, thank you. Appreciate that. Please like and subscribe on whatever podcast thing you use to listen to your podcasts. Thanks to Don Stuck and Bo Asner for making the Big Dumb Show awesome as always. And there's lots more to look at and listen to at gonzo.fm, so check that out. So that's it for now. Till next time, the Big Dumb Show Flashback podcast is a Noise Department production.